What if I told you that a standing desk would revolutionise the way you sketch? Well, you'd probably want the answer to these questions first. Is it even possible to sketch while standing up? And can you have the same level of control you have when sitting down to sketch? So when I was approached by FlexiSpot and offered a standing desk, I decided it was time to find out. And that the best way of doing that was to put the desk through its paces with an actual prototyping project under proper working conditions. Stay to the end and you'll see my sketches and the resulting prototype, and I'll tell you if this desk will become a permanent feature of my studio. But I'm also going to give you the cheat code to get you past the biggest obstacle in the way of sketching with confidence. Now, I'm a designer, so putting this desk through its paces means standing at it and sketching, but it also means looking at its build quality, its ease of assembly, its stability, and so on. And it's worth saying that this is my honest feedback, because FlexiSpot have simply sent me the desk with no demands at all on what I say, and I'm doing all my sketching in this video while standing up. So the first thing that struck me was the quality of the desktop. It arrived safely in its own packaging, and it was the first of 3 boxes that I opened. It's heavy, really heavy, and combined with its attractive veneer, it's a beautiful surface to sketch on. It looks and feels great. I can spin my paper around with ease and move my arm with complete fluidity. I chose the ebony finish, but there's a big range of sizes, colours and styles available. So you can see that I love the system I have for storing my pens and pencils and so on. But I thought I'd design and prototype a little desk tidy that can be hidden away under the desk when it's not in use, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, the focus of my design sketching is ideation, and ideation is simply the formation of ideas. It may not have been obvious until now, but a big sign that someone isn't confident in their sketching is when they have to complete a design idea in their head before starting to sketch it on paper. Ideation is best done concurrently. In other words, we're sketching our idea on paper as it's forming in our mind. You can see that I'm sketching here as I'm thinking. And as I'm thinking, I'm simply putting these thoughts down in sketch form. My thoughts are forming in bits and pieces. My mind's going off in different directions, on tangents, and jumping around from one thing to the next. My thoughts are pretty messy, so it's only right that my sketching will be pretty messy too. One of the biggest considerations of any product should be its usability, and that's where this desk really comes into its own. The keypad, as FlexiSpot call it, is really intuitive and pretty satisfying to use. The 2 buttons on the left are simply up and down, and you can press and hold either of these for however long you want. But you can program presets really easily, so a simple quick press of the button with the standing icon will send the desk up to the height that I've already set for standing at. And then there's the button with the seated icon, which obviously lowers the desk to my preferred seated height. You can set up to 4 presets, so your colleagues or family members can use the desk at their preferred heights too. And there's a USB charging socket integrated into the underside of the keypad, so it offers a convenient charging point. And it's not just in use that a high quality product needs to demonstrate usability. This desk arrives flat packed, and so it's important that the build instructions and the process of putting it together are all centered around the user too. And they are. It took me about an hour to construct the desk at a relaxed pace. It could be done more quickly, but the point is that it's a straightforward task, and that's because it's a very well designed product. Now, the quality of the components and the way they're put together just adds to the overall usability, but that comes through in use too. So when I'm standing at this desk and sketching, I'm not feeling any sort of movement. In fact, the desk is pretty much rock solid, and that's very impressive for a desk with extending legs. You'd even think there'd be some sort of wobble when the desk reaches its height, but there's barely any. So I said I'd give you the cheat code to overcoming one of the biggest obstacles in the way of sketching with confidence. We have an almost unbreakable desire to sketch with accuracy and neatness. And whilst we strive for accuracy and neatness, we're designing with the handbrake on. Designing with the handbrake on leaves us questioning whether we'll ever achieve our sketching goals, basically being able to sketch with confidence. And more importantly, it leaves us wondering if we were born without the sketching gene. Well, there's no such thing as the sketching gene, and everyone can learn to sketch. When you stop sketching for accuracy and neatness, and you learn to embrace messy sketching, guess what happens? Your messy sketching will start to look neat. Now, just before I give you my verdict on whether it's possible to sketch whilst standing up, with the same control we have as when we're sitting down, here's my finished prototype hot off the 3D printer. And it's a nice little addition to the desk. So my verdict, and you've probably guessed already, I'm really impressed with this desk. It's rock solid, it's a really pleasant change to be able to stand up and sketch, and I have just as much control over my sketching whilst standing up as I do sitting down. So this desk is going to remain a feature of my studio. And if you'd like to get your hands on one too, FlexiSpot have given me a link which you'll find in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Meanwhile, you'll want to watch this video next.